Hi, my name is Jenai Lane, and I'm the founder of Spirit Coach Training. I'm sending you so much love today and daily in my prayers and healings that I send out to humanity. And I want to talk to you a little bit about how to stay in your light, to find your inner courage during these challenging times that we are all experiencing collectively and of course, very personally. And there is a way that there is this larger part of us, what I call spirit or the divine or the light or courage. It's that part of us that is wholehearted. In fact, the word courage comes from a French Norman word which means of the heart. So, courage is to be stationed or residing in one's own heart, the high spiritual heart, the sacred heart, as mystics call it. And that's the part of us that can never be hurt, can never be destroyed, can never be changed in any way. And this part of us, when we bring our attention to it, gets ignited, and suddenly we find we have this resource, this inner resource, this resilience that is bubbling up inside of us that we can utilize in times of challenge. Now, if you're listening to this, you are a light worker and you're called to be connected to the light, especially now, especially now. So, how do you do that? How can you do that right now? What I have been doing myself, what I've been practicing myself daily is I'm taking a question that I've utilized my whole life almost to help me to move into that higher part of myself. I'm taking this question, and this question is really important. The question is, how can I serve? How can I serve? Why is that important right now? Well, it's important right now because it takes us out of the small, separate self. It takes us out of our story, of our losses, of our problems, of all the things that perhaps are overwhelming us at the moment. And it allows us to move into that high heart, into the sacred heart, into that highest part of us that is loving and compassionate and kind and wise, wise, and can make choices not only for the greater good, but for our own personal self and for our families and for our communities. So, this practice of how can I serve is a very important technique right now. Now, you can say, well, how can I serve? I'm just sitting in my house alone. Well, let me give you some ideas about how to do that. So, one of the things that I do is when I sit down to meditate, to do my spiritual practice, which we can really up the level of that right now. It's very important. Every time I sit down, I dedicate it to humanity, to the world, to the earth, to the healing of people who are suffering right now. And I dedicate my practice. And something happens every time I do that. It like ups the level. I can feel more light pouring in and more energy moving through me. And towards the end of my practice, I take a few minutes to send the light out, to send it out to others. Now, we know scientifically, they've done studies on this. We know the power of prayer. We know the power of sending energetic transmission. We can measure it. Science has measured it. We know it's effective. So, right now, this can be very, very fruitful when we do this, when we do this together, because we're in this together. So, let's take a moment and do a little bit of that for ourselves together. Just take a moment. Now, sometimes we're in such a state that our nervous system gets highly activated, which is completely normal right now. So I want you to take a moment and I want you to just touch your heart. And I want you to take your other hand if it feels comfortable for you. And I want you to bring it to the back of the nape of your neck, right there, your brainstem area. This is symbolic of the nervous system. And I want you to imagine a beautiful, beautiful diamond light, the wholeness frequency. This is the frequency of wholeness, and it has within it compassion and patience and love and peace. And we're going to especially highlight that peace as it begins to pour down this diamond light and just begin to enter these 2 points, the brainstem, flowing down the nervous system, the central column of your spine, and into the heart, beginning to activate the high heart. And feel this beautiful opening, this opening of this energy pouring into your field, pouring down, calming the nervous system, calming the nervous system. And as you take some deep breaths, you've directed the energy. Now you can bring your other hand onto your heart if you wish, or putting your hands down, whatever feels most comfortable for you, and continuing to allow this stream, this wellspring of beautiful, vibrant, rich energy pouring in, pouring in. And it's calming the nervous system, calming the nervous system. Knowing that in your heart is that wisdom. It is the wisdom of universal consciousness, of the divine, of God, whatever name we call it. We all of us have a connection to this. And we're going to build that muscle. We're going to build that muscle. So as you silently say to yourself, how can I serve? How can I serve? Now, no answer needs to come. It's just an open question that allows you to move out of the small, separate self into that larger part of you that knows you're a light worker, that knows you came here to contribute to humanity, and knows how. Beautiful. Now take a moment now to just relax. Just relax. And just dedicate this time right now to the benefit of all human beings, all the animals, all the flora and fauna, the earth herself. And notice as you tap your heart 3 times, 1, 2, 3, the light gets bigger. The light of that heart grows. You can imagine it like a diamond, and that diamond is just radiant as the light's pouring down, and it's the facets of the diamond are creating prisms of light, just flooding you, flooding your physiology, which is really healing for the body, and flooding your emotional body and your mental body, which is very calming and clarifying for the mind. And now together, we're going to send this out together. We're going to send this out to and for the benefit of anyone who needs it. Anyone who needs it right now, anyone experiencing ill health or loss or fear or trauma And of course, that includes us. And together we send this light out, out. Beautiful. Now notice the amplification of the energy that just happened. Because in your giving, you just opened up your receiving because it has a reciprocal relationship. Now bring the energy back to you and your heart as you fill up. Because to fill up with light is really the key right now. The most important thing. It will strengthen your immune system. It will strengthen your resilience. It will strengthen your courage and your service to those you love and to those you may not even know, but can love through this act of service. Beautiful. Fill up with that. Fill up with that. And I encourage you to practice this. And you'll notice that you become more and more light filled, more and more radiant, that your capacity to both give and receive expands exponentially. And notice, even throughout your day, because you pose that question, how can I serve? Things will begin to germinate. The high heart, the wisdom within will begin to show you how best to serve your family, to serve those you love, to serve your community, to serve the greater humanity. And in so doing, the self is also served. Thank you for listening. So many blessings to you. Please know I am with you and I am holding the light of love, and we are connected in this light always. Namaste.